You can probably tell when you're working out what is happening to your muscles. You see them moving through the range of motion that you've selected, and you feel the tension building up as you near failure. But what really happens to your muscles during a workout? How do you go from looking like this to looking like this? Let's take a deeper dive into the science of muscle hypertrophy. Hey, it's me with the movement system. And let's get into what really happens to your muscles when you work out. There are two primary factors that influence how your muscles change during a workout. The first is muscle fiber recruitment, and the second is muscle hypertrophy. Muscle fiber recruitment is exactly what it sounds like. It's your body's process of getting the right number of muscle fibers involved in the movement that you're doing. When you decide to lift a weight, your nervous system sends a signal down your spinal cord and out to your muscles. That signal tells the muscle fibers to contract, and the number of fibers that are activated will depend on how hard you're trying to lift the weight. So if you're lifting very light weights or performing a lot of reps, then only a small percentage of the muscle fibers will be recruited. But as the intensity increases and you approach failure, more and more muscle fibers will become active. This results in a greater force output, but also more fatigue. When those muscle fibers contract, they don't just instantly start shortening. They first go through an excitation-contraction coupling process where the signal from the nervous system is converted into a mechanical action. If you're familiar with the sliding filament theory, this process begins when the muscle fiber receives a signal from the nervous system and the myosin heads bind to the actin filaments. After that, the power stroke occurs where the myosin heads pivot, pulling the thin filaments past the thick filaments, which shortens the muscle fiber. Each muscle fiber has the ability to shorten 10 to 30% of its total length. When the signal from the nervous system stops, the muscle relaxes and the muscle fiber returns to its original length. The other factor influencing muscle growth is muscle hypertrophy. This is the actual process of making your muscles bigger. During a workout, microscopic tears occur within the muscle fibers, and that causes a hormonal cascade that leads to muscle repair and growth. Those tears activate satellite cells, which are essentially stem cells found on the periphery of muscle fibers. Once activated, they begin to proliferate and form new nuclei that migrate into the damaged muscle fibers. At the same time, existing nuclei begin to synthesize proteins that increase the cross-sectional area of the muscle fiber. This results in a larger, thicker muscle. It takes about 48 hours for the protein turnover rate to increase after a workout, and new protein synthesis peaks at about 72 hours post-exercise. That's why it's generally recommended that you train each muscle group twice a week with at least a day of rest in between sessions. Lactic acid also plays a role in muscle hypertrophy. While it was once thought that lactic acid was the primary driver of muscle fatigue, research suggests that it actually promotes muscle growth by activating satellite cells directly. There are also some pretty significant hormonal changes that happen during a workout that play a role in muscle hypertrophy. During resistance training, there is a big increase in the anabolic hormone testosterone, as well as growth hormone and insulin-like growth factor 1. On the other side of the equation, cortisol and other catabolic hormones like adrenaline decrease, resulting in a net anabolic hormonal environment. This hormonal cascade leads to increased protein synthesis and ultimately muscle hypertrophy. Finally, we have recovery. This is often overlooked as a key component of muscle hypertrophy. During the first 24 hours following a workout, there is a significant increase in blood flow to the muscles. That helps deliver nutrients and remove waste products. As the workout becomes more intense, there is a greater need for energy to resynthesize ATP and repair the muscle fibers. This is why it's important to consume enough carbohydrates to support recovery. Protein is also critical for repairing and growing muscle tissue, so make sure you eat enough of that too. Sleep is also essential for muscle recovery. During sleep, the body releases growth hormone, which is another anabolic hormone that supports muscle growth. So that's what happens to your muscles during a workout. Muscle hypertrophy is a complex process that involves many different factors, but it ultimately results in bigger, stronger muscles. If you want to learn more about the science of muscle hypertrophy, check out the links below. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.